Musterxmedia presents a tribute to men that hate their jobs. Series 2. Episode 16. For the record. I had another run-in with that dopey bitch manager today. I really didn't want to, but it had to be done. Because I can't keep living with certain things on my conscience. We're not allowed to open up the toilets to anyone, absolutely anyone. We're not allowed to have people sit down at all. And now, because of Corona, I'm fed up with my conscience being plagued all the time. I should have let that person sit down because they're half crippled. I should have let that person go to the toilet because they ain't gonna make it, yeah? And today it was a toilet incident and I had enough. I absolutely had enough. When this 80-year-old plus man, he come up to the door and said, I really need to go to the toilet. And yet again, if I had my mask off, he'd see my expression being really sad. I'm sorry sir, I'm not allowed to let you in. But Asda down the road, they'll let you in, yeah? And this man, this 80-plus-year-old man, looked really upset, as though he was about to shit himself. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it sir, come in. So if you just sanitize your hands for me, and we'll get you across the floor, because he was on his Zimmer frame, and I guided him to the toilets, punched in the code, and I said, they're just on the left there sir, just take your time, don't rush. And don't worry, I'll get myself in trouble and I'll get myself out of trouble. You know what? I have to live with a clear conscience. I can't do this. I can't let you hobble and risk yourself missing the toilet. I can't do it. I'm a human being. I can't sit there and watch you do that. And he thanked me as he went in. I returned to my position on the front door, where that dopey bitch manager was already waiting for him. Why did you let him into the toilet? She said. Right, we'll have this conversation later on when it's not busy and there's no one else around, because especially we're supposed to be acting professionally, I said, yeah? So you can demand all you want, I will not engage you until it's quiet. You can get someone else to watch the fucking door and we'll have this conversation, because you ain't gonna like my answer. She stormed off. And within 2 minutes, there was someone there waiting to relieve me from the door. I said, it's going to be a while, because this is going to be a good one, mate. He winked at me. I winked back. Okay, she in the office? He's like, yeah, she's in the office. So I went back round to the back office, past the disabled toilet, where the man was still going and doing his business. I didn't even bother to knock on the door. Just walked in to the office, slumped myself in the chair and put my boots on the desk. I really felt the need to show this stupid woman utter contempt, because I knew that this was going to be one of those arguments. I'm going to be writing you a disciplinary, she said. Really? Okay. What for? You know what for, she said. I'm like, well, for the notes, because you've obviously got to take notes about this. You're issuing me a disciplinary. Make sure it's all legal, love. Don't call me love. Well, it's a figure of speech, because that's what you say where I'm from, yeah? I could call you cunt. She looked at me. I said, you're not even bothering to write this down, so this is an illegal disciplinary for a start. So how about you go out, you get a piece of paper and a pen, you get a witness in, and get that witness to record everything that's getting said in this room, and we'll do this properly. Okay, she said, okay. I'm like, beat it, go on. And then when you come back in here, how about you try and pretend, yes? Pretend to be a little bit fucking professional. Or fuck off and come back when you're ready. She went red, but she stormed out and returned a few moments later with the supervisor of the kitchen. And then I took my boots off the table and I sat down like a good little boy. Okay, so now this is an official disciplinary. This is the investigation stage, I'm guessing. She said. I'm like, look, You got to follow procedure, yeah? You have to follow procedure if you want this done professionally, because you're supposed to be a professional, aren't you? The supervisor had a grin underneath his mask, I could tell, as he's scribbling down everything that's being said. So, I suspect you of gross misconduct, she said, from allowing a customer to use the toilets. Okay, do you want to go into a bit more detail? I said. Well, no, that's the crock of it, she said. I'm like, no, it's not the crock of it. An investigation would be to ascertain why I allowed a customer into the toilets. And for the record, he was in his 80s and he's still probably in there now. Okay, he was in his 80s, and what is the problem with that? Why did you let him into the toilet? Well, I smiled underneath my mask. Well, you see, I didn't want to go down in history as the man on the door that sent an old man to walk down the street and shit himself in front of everyone in the public, because I'm a decent human being and you're not. Is that on the record? I said to the supervisor. He nodded his head. I'm like, please make sure it's word for word. He nodded his head. So, do you condone allowing an elderly gentleman shitting himself in public? That stupid manager didn't know what to say. Well, go on, please answer the question. And because if you can't justify an old man shitting himself in public, then you just drop it, okay? But if you can, I want you to write down on the record and state for the record how to justify allowing a man of 80 years plus going down the street shitting his pants. Please tell me, because I'd like to know how to justify this. I'd like to know how I could justify that for my own personal conscience, and how the company could justify this. She didn't know what to say. She was just stammering. So, are you going to continue this disciplinary? Because if you want this official, and we are getting official, I guess, I want you to justify that it's company policy to allow an elderly gentleman to shit himself in the street because I'm not allowed to take him into the toilets. And then I want you to sign that document to say that it is acceptable behaviour to allow an 80-plus-year-old gentleman to shit himself on the streets. This interview is terminated, this investigation is over, she said. It's not going to be taken any further. No, I said, no, this interview is not over, this investigation is not over. I want you to investigate me for breaking the rules and allowing an 80-year-old man to use the toilets because I didn't want him to shit himself, and I want you to sign that document. Well, no. You've pulled me in here for an investigation, for a disciplinary. Now you fucking go through with it. Is that on the record? Because I said fucking, and please put on the record that you're a fucking cunt. Now sign that document. I will accept this disciplinary because I want head office to know that you're a fucking cunt. I despise you, you piece of fucking shit. I absolutely fucking despise you. Now please put it on the official record, because if you don't, I will report myself to the head office to say that I called you a fucking stupid bastard bitch fucking whore cunt for trying to discipline me for allowing an elderly gentleman to use the toilet so he didn't shit himself in the street. Now go on, put it on official record. She was going red, she didn't know what to do. And I get the fuck out of my sight. And you ever come near me again, you dopey fucking bitch, I'll fucking have you. This conversation's over, get the fuck out. She looked at me, I'm like, yeah, I told you to get the fuck out. You've got nothing you can say to me. I'm going to be sat here for 10 minutes so I can calm down and do my job properly. And you're going to pay me for this. And if you want to take this further, please take it further, but remind yourself that you failed to conduct an investigation correctly. You failed to follow procedure, and this disciplinary does not exist no more. Is that on the record? The supervisor nodded. I'm like, can I sign this? Can I sign this piece of paper, and I'll take a photocopy of it right now? Oh, we don't have a photocopier. I pulled out my phone. I'm going to take a photo of it then. Thank you. The supervisor nodded. He signed it. I signed it. Well, are you not going to sign this piece of paper so it's legal? Because you've got to legally stop this from happening. There has to be the evidence of this. I'm going to take a copy of the evidence, sign it. And I made that dopey bitch sign her own death warrant, and I would choose to use it whenever I chose to use it. And I made that dopey bitch sign an investigation over a bullshit matter that should not have even gone that far. She never spoke to me again.